So good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon,
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
good afternoon. So you are able to see the screen now? Hello,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, sir.
you are able to see this spontaneous combustion of or coal
Yes.
mine fire. You are able to see
Yes, sir.
this one?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So today we are going to discuss about the spontaneous heating of coal, spontaneous combustion of coal. So because of the spontaneous combustion and spontaneous heating, coal mine fires occur. So today's topic is spontaneous combustion of coal mine fires. So what is this self-heating or what is spontaneous heating of coal? So the process. What is spontaneous heating of coal? The definition of spontaneous heating of coal is the process of self-heating of coal. It is nothing but the process of self-heating of coal or other carbonaceous material due to auto-oxidation tendency of coal resulting in eventually in its ignition, which is known as spontaneous heating of coal. So this spontaneous heating of coal takes place because of the self-heating of coal, tendency of the coal to self-heating, self-heating tendency of coal, and because of the presence of carbonaceous material in the coal, auto-oxidation takes place because of the ignition, and that is known as the spontaneous heating of coal. So this spontaneous heating of coal, it is the most important cause of mine fires in coal mines across the world. Throughout the world, the cause of mine fire is the spontaneous heating of coal. So therefore, in the major coal producing countries like China, Australia, and India. So this problem of spontaneous heating of coal exists everywhere in China, in Australia, and in our country. So in Indian coal mines, 80% of the coal fires occur due to spontaneous combustion of coal. So it is found from the experience from Indian coal mines that 80% of the coal mine fires occur because of the spontaneous heating of coal. The main reason that the Indian coal seams are thicker. Our coal seams in India, the coal seams are very thick, and there is a tendency of coal for spontaneous heating during depillaring operation. You know that the coal is mined by bord and pillar method of mining or by longwall method of mining. But in the case of bord and pillar method of mining, so the first stage is your development by forming boards and pillars, and in the second stage you have to go for depillaring. So during the second phase, during depillaring operation, the coal mine fires are found. The auto oxidation of coal takes place during the depillaring operation in coal mines. So if you see the history of coal mine fires in India, in 1980s, in 1865, the first fire was reported in Raniganj coalfields. In Raniganj Coalfields Limited, the first fire was reported in the year 1865. If you see over 140 years, fires have been reported from Jharia coalfield and Raniganj coalfields. Jharia coalfields and Raniganj coalfields uh, are reported to having coal mine fires. So this auto-oxidation tendency of coal, self-heating of coal, can occur anywhere in the underground mines. The self-heating of coal can take place in the open cast mines also. The self-heating of coal can take place in shallow deposits, shallow coal deposits, and outcropping deposits, as well as the self-heating of coal is also found in coal stocks. So after the coal is mined, if it is not sent directly to the consumers, then you will keep it in your mind in the coal stockpiles. So during keeping the coal in the stockpiles, if the incubation period of coal is reached, then automatically the coal stock will get fired because of the auto-oxidation tendency of the coal. So that is why the coal stockpile should be cleared very regularly, should not be stored. The coal should not be stored in the stockpile for a long period of time. It should be sent to the customers, to the consumers, to the power plants. And sometimes also it is found that the self-heating of coal takes place while the coal is being transported. While the coal is being transported in the railway wagons or in the other means, so the coal mine fire or the self-heating of coal also takes place during transportation of the coal. And also the self-heating of coal takes place at the site of disposal of the waste from the coal mines. So you know that in coal mines, particularly in surface coal mines, a lot of overburden is dumped in the waste disposal area, waste dump area. So along with the waste dump, along with the waste materials, if coal is present in the disposal area, so self-heating of coal also takes place. So that is why we have found in waste dumps also coal mine fires are visible. If you visit to the coal mining areas, you will find that the smoke is coming out from the waste dump area. Also along with the waste materials. So this spontaneous combustion of coal is a very uh, uh, hazardous from the environmental uh, point of view. So there are adverse effects of spontaneous heating of coal to the environment. Adverse effect of spontaneous combustion of coal results in loss of lives and property. So if there is spontaneous heating of coal, so coal mine fire will occur, and this coal mine fire will ignite the coal dust or methane gas if present in the mines. So methane explosion, coal dust explosion, coal mine fire, they are twined together. They are interlinked each other. So which may result in loss of lives and property. If there is fire in your mines, people may die because of the coal mine fire who are working inside your mine. And the property damage will also be there. The equipments may be damaged. The coal itself is a national property. So if the coal is burning, so the uh, national property is burning. So that is why if there is spontaneous heating of coal, it will result in the loss of the lives and the property of the mining environment. So it can also cause considerable economic loss if your properties are damaged. If your properties are damaged, if your equipments are damaged, then it is a great loss to the company. Economic loss to the mining organization will be there, and not only to the mining organization but to the nation as a whole. There will be a lot of economic loss to the people, to the country, to the organization. If somebody is fatally dead because of the fire, so it is a great loss to the family, to the community. So that is why there are many adverse effects of spontaneous heating of coal. Substantially, it increases the greenhouse gas emission. You know that whenever there is a fire, so carbon dioxide is emitted to the atmosphere, carbon monoxide is emitted to the atmosphere, other noxious gases are also emitted to the atmosphere. So, uh, if there is spontaneous heating or combustion, spontaneous combustion of coal mine fire, then the it will increase the greenhouse gas emission to the atmosphere. So you know that if there is carbon dioxide emitted to the atmosphere, it will be responsible for environmental pollution. The air pollution will be there. Not only the air pollution, but temperature rise will be there. Global warming will be there. Because of the emission of carbon dioxide to the atmosphere, there is air pollution, environmental pollution. Not only the environmental pollution takes place because of the emission of carbon dioxide to the atmosphere, but it causes the global warming. Temperature of the globe also increases because of the emission of carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide gas to the atmosphere. So therefore, uh, the spontaneous combustion of coal is having adverse effect on the environment, on the lives of people, on the property of the company, and the nation as a whole. So therefore, we have to be very careful while mining coal so that the spontaneous combustion does not occur in your mines. So if you see the history of coal mine fires due to spontaneous combustion, uh, if you see the world scenario, there are several instances of fires due to spontaneous combustion in the past history of mining, which continued to burn for several decades and centuries. So, if you see the history of coal mine fire, the due to spontaneous heating, due to spontaneous combustion of coal, so there are several instances of fires throughout the globe, several decades and centuries. So if you see the China, in China, coal mine fires are a severe problem because China produces the largest volume of coal in the world. China is the first country which produces huge amount of coal, around 2.5 billion tons of coal annually. Per annum, China produces 2.5 billion ton of coal. So China is the number one country in the world which produces huge quantity of coal annually, and because of that reason, so there are several coal mine fires in their country. And also it has been estimated that some 10 to 200 million tons of coal uselessly burned annually. So in China itself, about 10 to 200 million tons, 10 to 200 million tons of coal is burning annually. So it is a great loss for the country. Coal is burning automatically because of the spontaneous heating of coal. So it is a great loss to the country, to the nation, to the world. And there are over 100 major fire areas listed in China. There are 100 major fire areas listed in China which extend over a belt across the entire north of China. If you travel to the entire north of China, there are 100 major areas where coal mine fires are found. So because of this coal mine fire, your atmospheric air is getting polluted. So continuously the coal is burning and continuously carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide is emitted to the atmosphere, and the atmospheric area, the atmospheric air becomes polluted. Not only the atmospheric area get polluted, but the temperature of the atmosphere also increases, causing global warming. So if you see the China's map, they are concentrated in the states of Jiang, Zhejiang, Inner Mongolia, and Ningxia. So these are the three areas where the coal mining activities are conducted in China. If you come to Germany, in Planitz, a part of the city of Zwickau, a coal seam that had been burning since 1476 could only be the coal mine fire was there burning continuously from 1476, and it is quenched in 1860 only. So, and in Saarland, in Dwellier, Saarland, a coal seam fire erupted around 1668 BC and is still burning in Germany. Till now it is burning. Nobody is able to quench the mine fire. Also, well known is the so-called stinking wand or stinking stone wall in Salbenthal on the eastern slope of the Moher Bagana, where various coal seams caught fire centuries, 100 years ago, after igniting, after lignite coal mining terminated, and combustion gas continues to reach to the surface in these days also. So this coal mine fire is a perennial problem in the coal mining areas. Nobody is able to control the mine fire in spite of lot of research going on how to control the coal mine fire. Still, throughout the world, the coal is burning around the year, and year after year, even centuries, 100 years also, the coal is burning. Nobody is able to control because of the spontaneous tendency of the coal to get fired. So if you see the United States of America, in USA also, there are many coal fields are subjected to spontaneous combustion. So according to the Federal Office of Surface Mining database, there are 150 fire zones listed in 1999. So in United States of America, there are 150 fire zones uh, identified. So, and there are 45 fire zones in Pennsylvania itself, the most well-known being the fire in Centralia mine in the hard coal region of Colombia. So, if you come to the scenario in India, Indian scenario in terms of coal mine fire, in terms of spontaneous heating of coal, we have discussed that the Raniganj coalfield in West Bengal uh, uh, was started in 1774. So, coal mining in our country started in the year 1774 in Raniganj coalfield in West Bengal. So, from that day till now, coal mine fires in India have survived since the second and third decade of 20th century. However, the history of first happening of coal mine fires in India has not been accurately recorded. When the first coal mine fire took place in India, it is not recorded. So nobody knows when the first fire took place in India. But the coal mining activity in India started in the year 1774 in the Raniganj coalfield area in West Bengal. So over 140 years, fires have been reported both from Jharia coalfield and Raniganj coalfield. If you see the last 140 years, we have seen that a lot of fires have taken place in Jharia coalfield and Raniganj coalfield. So therefore, the history of coal mine fires can be traced back to the year 1865 in India. Perhaps the first coal mine fire might have occurred in the year 1865 when the first fire was reported in Raniganj coalfield. It was in Raniganj coalfield in the year 1865 when the first coal mine fire was reported. And in Jharia coalfield, the first fire occurred in the year 1916 at Bhaura Colliery. If you see the Jharia coalfield, BCCL, so in the year 1916, Bhaura Colliery was under fire. First fire was reported in Bhaura Colliery. But in independent India, in the independent India, mine fires were known to have existed in the coal mines of Margarita in Assam, Northern Coalfields Limited. Margarita is situated in Assam, which is coming under Northern Coalfields Limited. So, after India got independence, the coal mine fires were detected in Margarita coal mines in Assam, Venkatesh Khani mine in Singareni's Collieries Company Limited in Andhra Pradesh, Mahakali Colliery in Chandrapura in Maharashtra State, in WCL Western Coalfields Limited, Singareni Collieries Company Limited, Venkatesh Khani mine, Talcher Colliery in MCL Mahanadi Coalfields Limited, Raniganj coalfield in West Bengal, and Jharia coalfield in Jharkhand. So these are the areas where the coal mine fire is found after the country became independent. So in Margarita in Assam, Northern Coalfields Limited, Venkatesh Khani in Singareni Collieries Company Limited in Andhra Pradesh, Mahakali Colliery in Chandrapura area in Maharashtra under Western Coalfields Limited WCL, Talcher Colliery in Talcher Coalfield in Orissa under Mahanadi Coalfields Limited, and Raniganj Coalfield in West Bengal, which is coming under Eastern Coalfields Limited, and Jharia coalfield in Jharkhand, which is coming under Bharat Coking Coal Limited. So these are the areas where lot of coal mine fires occurred and it is a regular phenomenon going on till now. In 1966, there were 64 coal mine fires, out of which 32 were reported in Jharia coalfield. 19 fires, 19 number of fires are reported from Raniganj Coalfields Limited. So in the year 1966, it is found that there are 64 coal mine fires existing in our country. Out of these 64, 32 coal mine fires are situated in Jharia Coalfields Limited, and 19 coal mine fires were found in Raniganj Coalfields Limited. And this number of coal mine fires from 82 increased to 82 from 64 to it increased to 82 in the year 1976. So uh, this is the reason why we are studying this subject, the coal mine fire, the spontaneous heating of coal. It is a great problem for the country, for the coal industry. So that is why this subject you should understand what is the importance of self-heating of coal, what is the importance of auto-oxidation tendency of coal, what is the importance of uh, your auto-oxidation or spontaneous heating of coal, because there are so many coal mine fires reported in India. So lot of coal is burning every day. So there is no way to get rid of this hazard. So that is why you should understand what is coal mine fire. And the government of India is spending a lot of money uh, to do research, investigation on coal mine fire, how to control it. Lot of researchers, lot of scientists are working on it, but in spite of all their effort, till now there is not a single solution by the help of which this problem, this hazard can be eliminated from your mining environment. So the number of coal mine fires increased further. In the year 1994, the number of coal mine fires increased and to 196. Okay. In the year 1966, there were 64 coal mine fires were there. In the year 1976, there were 82 number of coal mine fires. In the year 1994, there were 196 coal mine fires in our country. So this is the gravity of the situation. The government of India is losing lot of coal. The country is losing lot of coal because of the auto-oxidation tendency of the coal, because of the self-heating of coal, because of the self-burning of the coal, because of the spontaneous heating of the coal, because of the coal mine fire. Okay, so that is why this subject is taught to all the mining engineers to know the mechanism of spontaneous combustion. So let us understand what is the mechanism of spontaneous combustion. How does the spontaneous combustion takes place? So this spontaneous combustion of coal mechanism is because of the auto-oxidation tendency of coal, which is a complex physico-chemical process. So this auto-oxidation tendency of coal, spontaneous combustion of coal, is a complex physico-chemical process, and it is accompanied by absorption of oxygen from the atmosphere. Oxygen will be absorbed in the coal complex theory uh, and formation of coal oxygen complexes. So when coal and oxygen are come in contact with each other, then you get coal oxygen complexes, and their decomposition takes place, leading to liberation of heat. So when coal and oxygen they come in contact with each other, they the chemical process starts. Physico-chemical process starts in the complex phenomena, and decomposition takes place, leading to liberation of heat. And this heat liberated from the coal oxygen complex is the root cause of your spontaneous combustion of coal. So if this heat liberated from coal oxygen complex reaches to the temperature necessary for ignition, then the coal mine fires are found. So therefore the accurate mechanism of the reaction is still not understood by many scientists. In spite of all our efforts, the scientists are also not able to understand why this mechanism, why this complex theory, why this auto-oxidation tendency exists in the coal oxygen complex phenomenon. So, however, people are uh, trying, and the scientists agree that the nature of the interaction between coal and oxygen at much low ambient temperature is simply a physical adsorption process and changes in a chemisorption form. Okay. So therefore, the scientists has defined this complex physico-chemical process. According to the scientists, the definition of this complex physico-chemical process of coal-oxygen complex physico-chemical process is uh, by which the freshly exposed coal, so after the coal is exposed in the coal mines at ordinary atmospheric temperature, when comes in contact with oxygen, it catches fire due to auto-oxidation and without the application of heat from any other external source. So according to this coal oxygen complex physico-chemical process at ordinary atmospheric temperature, when the coal is exposed to the atmosphere, it comes in contact with oxygen. When coal is exposed to the atmosphere containing oxygen, it catches fire because of the auto-oxidation tendency of the coal. You do not need any other source of igniting source. You do not need any other ignition source to get the fire. The coal itself get heated and ignited when comes in contact with oxygen. You do not need any external source of ignition in the case of spontaneous combustion of coal. So fires, the coal mine fires occurring due to spontaneous combustion is nothing but a function of quality of the coal. What type of coal you are going to mine? What is the quality of coal? Whether it's a low grade coal or high grade coal, and what is the circumstances which it is subjected. So the coal mine fires are because of these two functions. What type of coal you are going to mine, quality of coal, and circumstances which it is subjected. So in coal mines, for spontaneous combustion to occur, there should be three conditions fulfilled. Three conditions must be satisfied for the spontaneous combustion to occur in the coal mines. What are those three conditions? First condition is coal must be present in a form which can oxidize readily at ambient temperature. At normal ambient temperature, the coal must be present in a form which can be oxidized readily at ambient temperature. Second condition, there should be oxygen must be available. Oxygen must be available to support the oxidation. So, without oxygen, there will not be any fire. So that's why second condition is oxygen must be present in the atmosphere to start the reaction of between coal and oxygen, and there should be favorable conditions for accumulation of heat must be present. Okay, this is very important. So we have discussed in the earlier classes about this in a greater detail. Fire triangle. For the fire triangle, for the fire to occur, the fire triangle consists of, there should be a fuel. Fuel is the coal. There should be oxygen, and third one, there should be heat. So coal, oxygen, and heat. These are the three things necessary for the fire to occur. So this is called the fire triangle. Okay, so the favorable conditions for accumulation of heat must be present. What is the meaning of this? So this heat which is generated from the coal oxygen complex phenomena reaction process, from the coal oxygen reaction process, heat is generated. So if this heat is cooled down by your ventilation current, if the heat is taken out by cool air supplied by the ventilating fan, then there will be no accumulation of heat. This heat will be cooled down. There will be no accumulation of heat. So in that case also, there will be no fire. Even if coal is there, even if oxygen is there, if the heat, the temperature is not increasing, heat is not increasing, there will be no fire. So that's why the third condition is very important. If the heat accumulation is not there, fire will not there. So how to cool down the air? By providing proper ventilation, fresh air, cool air to the mine atmosphere, so that the heat will be neutralized. The heat temperature will be cooled down so that there will be no fire in the mines. That is why there is a ventilating fan is there, and the ventilation is carried out round the year 365 days, 3 shifts every day, every minute. The ventilation fan is running to cool down the heat. Okay, but if the fan will be stopped, and if you are not able to supply the fresh air, cool air to the mine atmosphere, heating will take place. Heat will increase, accumulated, and that will lead to the mine fire. Okay, so this is the fundamental principle of spontaneous heating of coal, where three conditions are to be fulfilled. We have discussed it in the previous classes about the fire triangle, fuel, oxygen, and heat. If the three conditions are met, then there will be fire. So this spontaneous heating of coal, how it occurs? What is the theory behind spontaneous combustion of coal. There are many theories are there. There are many theories are there by the help of which the spontaneous combustion of coal can be explained. The first theory is coal-oxygen complex theory, which we have discussed just now. Coal-oxygen complex theory developed by a scientist, developed by two scientists, Rayard and Wheeler. These are the two scientists who have given a theory which is called your coal-oxygen complex theory. Coal-oxygen complex theory. And a second theory is given by pyrite theory, which is developed by Plot. And third theory is called the bacterium theory. Bacterium theory, developed by Potter, a scientist. And fourth one is the phenol theory, given by Fisher, a scientist. Phenol theory. And fifth one is the electrochemical theory. So these are the 5 theories available to explain the spontaneous combustion of coal. So the first one is very important, that is the coal-oxygen complex theory given by Rayard and Wheeler. So what is the theory tells? Coal-oxygen complex theory, what does it mean? What is the theory behind this coal-oxygen complex theory? How this is explained? The establishment of peroxyl radical and hydroperoxides is commonly to be conceived to be the mechanism by which oxygen and moisture are initially incorporated into the organic matrix of coal. So these species may rearrange, they may react, or they may decompose to form wide range of oxygen functionality in the gaseous product. So these peroxyl radicals and hydroperoxides commonly to be conceived to be the mechanism by which oxygen and moisture, water particles are initially incorporated into the organic coal complex matrix. So these species, these peroxyl radicals and hydroperoxides, these species may rearrange and they may react with coal matrix, and the coal matrix will be decomposed to form a wide range of oxygen functionality in the gaseous products. So when oxygen and carbon or the coal complex phenomena takes place, the end products are gaseous products like your carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, hydrogen, water vapors. These are the products obtained from the reaction from coal and oxygen. So the following factors favor the oxidation process. So there are 3 factors responsible for the oxidation to take place, like the type of coal, what type of coal you are going to mine, whether it is a low rank coal or high rank coal, whether it is a low grade coal or a high grade coal. Then temperature of the mining environment, as I have told, temperature should be favorable for the oxidation to take place, and presence of moisture in the mine atmosphere, type of coal you are mining, temperature of the mine atmosphere, then moisture in the mining environment, coal, moisture in the coal. So these are the 3 factors which govern the oxidation process. So at ordinary atmospheric temperature, freshly exposed coal has affinity for oxygen of the air in contact with it. So the oxygen is absorbed by coal on its surface by a purely physical process, which, however, rapidly gives place to a chemical chain reaction, resulting in oxidation of certain constituents of coal. So like all other oxidation reactions, the interaction of oxygen with coal is an exothermic reaction with production of a small quantity of heat. So the coal and oxygen reaction interaction is a exothermic process which produces a small quantity of heat, which can be explained from the following equation. So this oxygen absorption reaction is considered to take place in the following manner. Coal plus oxygen, it will form coal oxygen complex, and from this coal oxygen complex will be oxidized. The coal will be oxidized. After oxidation, carbon monoxide will be produced. So this carbon monoxide is nothing but incomplete combustion of coal, and carbon dioxide is the complete combustion gas, and water particles will be there and heat will be there. Small amount of heat will be produced whenever coal and oxygen complex phenomena oxidization takes place. So this heat, HEAT, heat from oxidation normally varies how much? From 2 to 4 calorie per milliliter of oxygen absorbed at normal temperature and pressure. If there is normal temperature is there, normal pressure is there, atmospheric pressure is there, so you will get about 2 to 4 calorie of heat per milliliter of oxygen absorbed in the coal. A rise in temperature of coal, if the temperature rise will be there in the coal, in the consequence takes place, which has the effect of increasing further the rate of absorption of oxygen and production of heat. So if there is rise in temperature, so further reaction will take place, further oxygen will be absorbed and further heat will be produced. So this heat, if goes on increasing, accumulating, temperature will also goes on increasing. So the heat generated, if not dissipated, so that is why whatever heat is generated, it should be dissipated by adopting proper ventilation system, by supplying cool, fresh air so that the heat is normalized. But if not dissipated by radiation or conduction or by both at a rate faster than it is produced, whatever heat is produced, it should be dissipated. Otherwise, there will be a further rise of temperature of coal takes place, which accelerates further the rate of oxygen absorption and production of heat until finally the ignition point of coal is reached. Ignition point of coal is reached. So this heat will go on increasing, temperature will go on increasing till it reaches the ignition point of coal. Once the ignition point of coal is reached, so there will be fire. So what is this ignition temperature of bituminous coal? Is nearly 160 to 170 degrees centigrade. So the ignition temperature of bituminous coal is nearly about 160 to 170 degrees centigrade. If this temperature is reached, then there will be fire. And of anthracite coal, if you are mining anthracite coal, its ignition temperature is 185 degrees centigrade. So this is the mechanism. The mechanism of reactions between oxygen and coal is quite complicated. That's why it is called a complex theory. Coal oxygen complex theory, because it is a very complicated phenomenon. So 3 steps, 4 steps are there to explain this mechanism. These reactions occur in the 4 steps. First step is formation of coal oxygen complex and heat generation. Second step is decomposition of the complexes, yielding carbon dioxide and water molecules, and formation of more sensible groups like your carboxyl group and carbonyl group and phenolic group, and there will be further heat generation. In the third step, decomposition of these groups, then these carboxyl group and carbonyl group, phenolic group, they will also decompose at a temperature greater than 100 degrees centigrade. and they will also produce carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, water, and hydrogen, and high degree of hydrocarbons they will also produce. These hydrocarbons like ethane, ethylene, propylene, and there will be heat generation. So this is the step. First step, second step, third step, then fourth step. The decomposition of aliphatic structure, saturated and unsaturated hydrocarbons. So these hydrocarbons also are decomposed, and they also produce carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, water molecules. So you see there are four steps are there. In the first step only coal oxygen complex was there, little bit of heat was there. In the second step uh, they produced carboxyl and carbonyl and phenolic groups, and these carboxyl and the carbonyl and the phenolic groups they produce hydrocarbons like your ethane, ethylene, and propylene, and they go on increasing the heat generation, and they go on producing carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, water molecules. So these are the four steps responsible for the coal mine fire to take place. Auto-oxidation tendency of coal, self-heating of coal, or spontaneous combustion of coal take place. So Professor Banerjee, S.P. Banerjee, in the year 1985, carried out the experiments and explained this coal complex theory very nicely. So initially in the first stage, coal and oxygen is mixed together, forming coal oxygen complex. Temperature is risen up to 50 degrees centigrade. So slow oxidation takes place. In the first stage, slow oxidation takes place at a temperature of 50 degrees centigrade. Then in the second stage, the temperature rises to 50 degree to 80 degrees centigrade uh, by removing the moisture present in the core, and there is steady state oxidation takes place. Further, the temperature is increased up to 120 degrees centigrade. Evolution of oxides of carbon oxides are formed, and further the temperature is increased to 180 degrees centigrade. So rapid interaction with oxygen takes place. Further, the temperature is increased to 180 degrees centigrade to 250 degrees centigrade. So thermal decomposition takes place. So when the temperature increases to this level, auto ignition temperature. So ignition takes place, thermal decomposition takes place. In the third stage, self-sustained combustion takes place at a temperature of 200 degrees centigrade and 250 degrees centigrade. So the coal catches fire. So this is called this theory is called your coal oxygen complex theory. This theory is called your coal oxygen complex theory. So in the next class we are going to discuss about this is the first theory. We are going to discuss the next theory, pyrite theory. Next class we will discuss about the pyrite theory. Okay. So today what we have discussed, today we have discussed the mechanism of coal mine fire, the mechanism of auto-oxidation tendency of coal, and what are the factors, what are the conditions necessary for the coal mine fire to take place, and what are the different theories available to explain the auto-oxidation tendency of coal. Out of the 5 theories, this is the most important theory, which is called your coal oxygen complex theory. It is well explained in 4 steps. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. So this is all about today's class. So next week, Tuesday, 3:15, again we'll study the pyrite theory, next theory, which is called your pyrite theory. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.